The police department, we use them in a proactive way to help train both our staff and people with disabilities on engaging in our community safely. Our goal as an organization is for folks to participate and be part of the community, be out and about, to be doing things. And inherently, with all people, there comes some risks with that. And usually people with developmental and intellectual disabilities can be a little more vulnerable than a lot of other people. And the police department can help both our staff and people with disabilities be aware of that and to be able to interact with community members in a safe manner, what to watch out for, people that could potentially take advantage of them, and how to keep themselves out of those situations, and how to react if they do find themselves in a bad situation.
We're meeting quarterly with Lieutenant Diaz and establishing the need areas. We're sharing information and creating protocols with him, with that group of people on that committee. Lieutenant Diaz is then taking that information back to the officers that are on the street, the ones that are responding to the calls that they get. He's sharing the information with his officers. We're taking back the information that he shares with us and sharing it with our staff.
Working with the police department and the police interaction with people with developmental and intellectual disabilities, it requires them to communicate differently than a lot of other citizens out there. A lot of times the person's ability to talk verbally isn't available at all, or is very sketchy, but being able to work through and find ways, either with the person or with staff, to be able to tell what a person's trying to communicate and what are they trying to say through their actions. And sometimes that involves a partnership with the police department in figuring that out, and work with us as a team to help figure out solutions for those various situations that come up.
Some of the challenges that we come in contact with are just assisting people through their mental health, assisting them through what they're going through. And sometimes we need a little bit of a police assistance in that aspect to best support the person. It may just be having the officer show up and kind of provide some education or some information as to the options that we have.
In the community, the police have worked with a lot of our folks that they could have gone missing, maybe gotten lost. They found those individuals and they can be scared. And so they've learned great ways to respond to them, to make them comfortable, to notify us as well. It helps us and it helps the person served. It's really good.
The particular individual that we support was seeing things that were real to him. And it might not be real to everybody else, but it was real to him. And the officer came and he sat down with that individual, a couple of his supporters, and what I heard from that meeting was that he listened carefully. He wasn't interjecting. He knew that that person needed extra time to process what he was saying, and that person would respond as soon as he was able and processed that information. So when a new officer learns that, or an experienced officer learns that, they're able to pass that on to new officers, because every day is different.
When we might have an emergency come up, again, they interact in a very person-centered way. They're interested in what we're doing. They respect the work that Black Hills Works does, what value we add to the community. That's very evident in how they interact with us. I've made it very apparent that they're there to support us and to support all members of our community to participate safely.